Once upon a time, in a small village in the heart of Africa, there lived a skilled hunter named Jabari. He was known throughout the land for his bravery and prowess when it came to tracking and hunting down wild animals. One day, as Jabari was out hunting in the dense jungle, he caught sight of a deer in the forest. Upon seeing Jabari, the deer ran into the dense forest and Jabari chased after it as fast as he could in order to get a good shot at the deer. But the deer ran so fast he couldn't get a good shot, so the deer escaped. As he walked in the forest, he stumbled upon a shining object lying on the forest floor. Curious, he picked it and realized it was a necklace unlike any he had ever seen before. The necklace was made of intricate silver coils with a pendant in the shape of a snake's head. As Jabari held it in his hands, he felt a strange sensation wash over him. He could almost hear a faint whispering voice in his head, urging him to keep the necklace close. Intrigued by the mysterious object, Jabari decided to take it home with him. Little did Jabari know, the necklace belonged to a powerful snake woman named Naya who dwelled deep within the forest. She had been watching him from afar, waiting for the right moment to reclaim her precious possession. When she discovered that Jabari had taken her necklace, she was filled with rage and vowed to get it back at any cost. The snake woman knew that in order to retrieve her necklace, she would have to take the form of a full human being. Using her ancient magic, she transformed herself into a beautiful woman with mesmerizing eyes and silky black hair. She approached Jabari's village under the guise of a lost traveler seeking shelter for the night. Upon seeing Jabari, she acted like she was very tired and hungry, looking hopeless and unable to get food. When Jabari laid eyes on the mysterious woman, he was immediately captivated by her beauty and grace. He invited her into his home and gave her food, disregarding the danger that lurked beneath her beauty. The next day, Jabari asked her where she was from and where her people were. She replied to Jabari that she was an orphan and she was from a faraway village. Moved with pity, he offered to let her stay with him. That morning, Jabari prepared his bow and arrows, and set off to the forest to hunt for animals. As he leaves, Naya begins to look for her necklace, checking every corner of the hut but she can't find the necklace. The next day, as Jabari leaves the house to hunt, she begins to search again and this goes on for days. One day she got tired looking for the necklace, realizing Jabari might have lost it or given it out. Unable to ask Jabari about the necklace, she remained patient, hoping one day Jabari would reveal it to her. One day, Jabari took Naya to his mother's house and introduced her to his mother. Naya then saw her beauty necklace on the neck of Jabari's mother. When they both returned to his hut, she was so excited that she had finally seen her necklace. Naya then planned to take back her necklace. Another day, she alone went to visit Jabari's mother and she started to get closer to her. As Jabari's mother got busy outside with her firewood, Naya searched for her necklace and took it. Immediately she left, saying her goodbye to Jabari's mother. Though Naya had gotten what she had come for, she didn't return to the forest. She began to enjoy the attention and love Jabari showered her, so she decided to stay with him. Over time, Jabari and Naya grew closer and eventually fell deeply in love. Jabari then expressed his feelings towards her and she was very happy with him. Realizing she wanted a future with him, she agreed to marry him. And after 2 market days, they both got married in a little organized ceremony. Years passed, and Jabari and the snake woman Naya built a life together in harmony. However, one fateful day, Naya went to the village stream to fetch water. Jabari returned home from hunting unable to find her. He walked inside the hut and stumbled upon a hidden little box in their home. On opening the box, he found the necklace he had taken all those years ago and had presented to his mother. Shocked and bewildered, he sat outside his hut as he awaited Naya's return. After a while sitting outside, he caught sight of her coming home with a jar of water on her head as she returned with a lovely smile. Immediately she dropped the water jar, Jabari, with a mixture of anger and disappointment, demanded an explanation from Naya about the necklace, accusing her for stealing his mother's necklace. With tears in her eyes, Naya revealed that the necklace he took long ago belonged to her. She then told him the consequences of losing her necklace. She confessed that without it, she would slowly wither away and lose her powers. Afterwards, she showed him her true nature as a snake woman. As the truth of Naya's identity sank in, Jabari's mind reeled with disbelief and horror. He stumbled back, his heart pounding in his chest as he struggled to make sense of the surreal scene unfolding before him. Naya, her serpentine form coiled gracefully at his feet, watched him with sorrowful eyes, her voice soft and pleading as she begged for his forgiveness. But Jabari could not find it within himself to respond, his mind consumed with a whirlwind of emotions, betrayal, fear, and a deep, wrenching sadness. With natural fear, he ran out for help. Word quickly spread throughout the village about Naya's true identity, and the villagers, overcome with fear and superstition, demanded that she be killed for deceiving them. But Jabari, despite his own feelings of betrayal, stood up for the woman he loved and begged for mercy. In a moment of desperation, Naya made a decision that would change both of their lives forever. She asked to be left alone in the forest, where she belonged. Heartbroken, Jabari accompanied her to the edge of the village, where they said their final goodbyes. Alone in the forest, Naya returned to her snake form and was greeted by her fellow serpent sisters. But they too turned on her, rejecting her for falling in love with a human and bringing shame upon their kind. She left to wander in the forest. After some days passed, Jabari began to miss Naya and regretted leaving her into the forest. So the next day he told his mother how he felt and his desire to reunite with Naya. Despite the warnings of his mother and the discouragement of the villagers, Jabari could not shake the ache in his heart that longed for his beloved wife. The next day, he set out to find her in the dense forest. As he wandered deeper into the depths of the forest, Jabari's heart pounded with anticipation and fear. He knew that he was venturing into dangerous territory, but the thought of reuniting with Naya consumed his every thought. He searched for 3 days and he couldn't find her. Tired and hungry, he decided to go back home. As he stood up, he saw her wandering in the forest. On getting a clear vision of her, he called out to her, rushed to her and hugged her. He then told her how much he wanted her in his life. She also told him how her own people abandoned her into the forest. Then they both decided to live together in the forest and they started to build a hut in the forest. The queen of the serpents was furious as she saw Naya living happily in the forest with a human. Fueled by rage as she could not bear to see her little sister living happily with the same man that caused her to be banished from her kind. She vowed to put an end to their love once and for all. One day as Jabari made his way back to their humble hut in the forest, he couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, of being hunted by an unseen predator lurking in the shadows. Suddenly, the queen of the serpents emerged from the darkness, her eyes blazing with malice as she launched her venomous knife at Jabari. Naya caught sight of her. In a moment of selfless sacrifice, Naya shielded Jabari from the deadly strike, taking the hit herself. With her last breath, she whispered her love for him and asked him to remember her always. Naya had given her life to save the man she loved. Devastated and broken, Jabari returned to his village with Naya's lifeless body in his arms. The villagers, touched by the depth of his love and grief, offered their condolences and support as he buried her. But nothing could fill the void left by the loss of his beloved Naya. And so, Jabari lived out the rest of his days in quiet solitude, haunted by memories of the snake woman who had captured his heart and paid the ultimate price for their forbidden love. The people of the village spoke of their tragic tale for generations, a cautionary reminder of the dangers of crossing the boundaries between humans and otherworldly beings.